We do have some breaking news to bring you at this hour. Sources telling me that the Justice Department is about to be announcing that it plans to require Intuit to divest Credit Karma's tax business as part of that transaction, for Intuit to proceed with that $7.1 billion acquisition of Credit Karma. As part of the settlement, my understanding is that Credit Karma's tax business will be sold to Square, creating effectively a third competitor in this space. There has been some question about whether that Intuit transaction with Credit Karma would be approved by the government. My understanding is that effectively what will happen is the Department of Justice will announce a case that they will be bringing against the transaction to effectively block it, and then announce simultaneously a settlement in which the Credit Karma tax business does get sold to Square. It's a bit reminiscent of how the Department of Justice's antitrust division, run by Makan Delrahim, approached the Sprint T-Mobile transaction, if you remember. They effectively sought to block that as part of a settlement, though to let it proceed, they created a new competitor by forcing those businesses to sell some of that spectrum, if you remember, to EchoStar, the Dish business, again trying to create an extra competitor. It's worth mentioning that Intuit's TurboTax business, which is the business that people are concerned about in this case, has 41 million customers. Credit Karma's tax preparation business only has about 2 million customers today, but Credit Karma has about 100 million customers in total, and that business is growing fast. So the idea here from a regulatory perspective, from what I understand, is to allow the deal to go forward, but to try to create a strong additional competitor. Square will be offering that service, from what I understand, as part of its Square Cash App. So we will see how all of this works. But that is the news for now. You're looking at that stock on Intuit up just a bit right now. Brian?
Yeah, it actually traded just higher now. It had been down before this. And I guess, Andrew, do you know how important or how key this was to this transaction? Or is the good news that the market's seeing here, okay, it's going to get approved, they just have to do this divestiture? And I would guess it could be a difference of thinking, okay, it's not a big deal to spin it off. Maybe who you spin it off to and create a competitor could be the question. And Square is no slouch.
I think the interesting part is that it's going to Square, and that's part of the deal. You're looking at the Square stock. That's actually the one that's making the move, in large part because that had not really been in the market, if you will, that was going to be a possibility. There have obviously been questions about whether the Intuit Credit Karma transaction unto itself would be approved by the government, and we'll see. We'll see, and we'll see whether what Square is able to do with that business. It puts them in a different business for the first time as well. But we're gonna watch this, and we'll wait to see more. I should also mention that my understanding of this is that the New York State Attorney General's office has been in talks with Intuit and Credit Karma and the Department of Justice. So to the extent that there were questions about whether the transaction could get effectively approved by the Department of Justice, but somehow the states could go after it, my understanding is that the New York State is effectively signing off on this settlement arrangement. But again, we're hoping to get more details shortly.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.